Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of What If the Continents and Oceans Were Switched. And previously we saw major changes such as the Peach team being fully destroyed, they're completely gone now, and the Red team being gone as well, meaning that this place up here is a lot different now. And I would definitely argue that some new countries are climbing the ranks. But we also saw at the end of last episode a major war between the big alliance over here, and yeah, it's a very big war. But to get into this, we're going to start off in the south. And starting off, the people who get the jump on this war is the red team. And as we can see here, the red team is like this, so they follow a curve like this. But that's not gonna happen. This isn't gonna be here for long, because they are gonna start pushing their troops out into these other countries. So we see the yellow team act first, sending a ton of troops out. And then this team right here, which is also a very strong country, is gonna start moving their troops out and actually capture the capital of this Peach team, which is a very weak country, honestly. And they're also going to start moving troops up little at a time into these other countries up here, being the orange team right here. And then this blue team right here. The dark blue team here, however, is probably one of the strongest leaders in the alliance, besides for this team right here. And these guys are going to be moving a lot of troops everywhere. They're already going to start with capturing that major city, moving into this country right here, and capturing a lot of territory like this. So at the start, we already see a very big jump on these guys. But where they're going to fail is more up to the north, because these guys up here are very distant with each other, and especially after the blue team alliance gets a lot of support from one of their, not necessarily member nations, but it is a very big partner with the alliance, and that is this purple team right here. So these guys are going to officially join the blue side, which is just going to help get to these guys up here, which the blue team has the only connection and border with. So they're going to immediately march all their troops up here, capture the capital, and after this they're just going to force them into a surrender. No, it's going to take a while. And meanwhile down here, I don't know why it's this color. There we go. But now the gold team down here is also going to invade up, capture a major city, and even the capital. This country is a lot stronger though, so it's not going to be that easy. So they're going to wait around there. But now they're also going to send a lot of their troops of the blue team. All of this, they're all connected, which is something that's very bad. And we also see that this country is going to officially join the Blue Alliance, because they were invaded, of course, last episode to start this. And there we go. So, after all this happened, yeah, each alliance is kind of suffering. The blue team is connected, but the red team is not, and they're going to try to eliminate all these countries down here to do that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start looking at this part of the war up here, and then we'll go take a break from this. So, this purple team right here is safe. They don't border anybody. But this country right here, this light green team, will be attacked. And yeah, it's not going to be very good for them. They're going to be attacked just like this. And over here, they will be able to fight back from this, of course. These guys are very strong. These guys are like, I would say, probably around now, the power of the China over here. So yeah, they are very strong. And even when this this country right here will start to invade them, it won't go so well either. Change that. Yeah, it won't go so well for these guys either. They'll capture one major city, but over here, they're just completely annihilated. And even in the major city, it'll be taken back. And yeah, not going very good for these guys. But now, looking back up here, the gold team has officially finished off this dark purple team right here. And up here, the blue team has finished off the orange team, meaning that all the troops up north can now focus their troops down south toward this little front line over here. That is expanding because they're getting a lot of support. The light green team, I guess, the light team, we're going to call these guys the team. So the team over here is actually invading, and they're still going very slowly, but they're still going very effectively, capturing a lot more major cities, 4 in fact, and moving down south here. Then they're going to stage an invasion into the dark team here. We're going to go around the back of these, and they're going to kind of just corner them in this little narrow strait here, where they can easily take them over, and they will recall all their troops back into the country, meaning a full-on offense will take place. And over here, in this country, they're still putting up a great fight, but they are slowly going to be invaded. And this is when the leaders of these two nations right here have a very good idea, and they go to the leaders of the other team, the red team, instead of the blue team, and they're going to say, just leave us two out of the war. You can occupy this area for now. We'll let you have a decent amount of land in a treaty, and you can just let us go and we'll join your team or something. We'll give you money or something. So after the money's offered, they're like, sure. So now these two are let off. They're out of the alliance, even though the top one just joined it. And recently, the top one has been making very big success with the bottom one in terms of diplomacy, because they didn't used to like each other, because the top one was they are a dictatorship, or they're fascists, so that was the problem. But fascism, I mean, that's a very big problem, but yeah, I mean, that's not good, but they have officially switched to just a normal dictatorship. So they're not just like attacking countries anymore. I guess that should be good. But taking a break from the whole war, we're actually going to move over to here. As I didn't give these guys ideologies last time, because now there are 2 countries right here, 2 countries up here as well. So we should do that. And what better way to start off than with the blue team that kind of inherited the full red team. I mean, both of these kind of inherited at the same time. But yeah, these guys right here, they're actually going to become I don't know, I'm kind of thinking what I want to do with these guys here. We're going to make these guys a dictatorship. So, the orange guys at least. So the orange guys are a dictatorship, and the guys where the red team used to be, these guys are also going to be a, I think these guys are going to probably be a monarchy, but like a very, like, absolute monarchy, definitely. And some of the most powerful countries, all of the most powerful countries in the world at this point are monarchies, besides for the aristocracies, besides for those, so, yeah. Down here in these countries, though, the central one is going to be a republic, Or, no, that definitely doesn't make sense. The leftern one was going to be a republic. Yes, that's right. So this one was going to be a republic. And then the one over here, just to the right, is going to be... I'm pretty sure these guys were also supposed to be something. But these guys will officially be changed to an aristocracy. So there we go. We've updated that. I'm pretty sure this map is not the most important. So if we miss a few countries, that's okay. Like over here, we're missing a few countries. We're missing this country. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. And I think we'll update these guys right now. These guys can also be an aristocracy. Just add a few more to the map. So democracy is definitely overwhelming right now. But they're not as much as it is in our time. And of course, this is like right after the age of... So, the colonies ended early in this timeline. There was a lot more want for self-governing. So, that happened. And probably around, like, colonies started around 16,000. 1,600. But it probably ended around 1,750. And we're probably approaching the year, I would say, 1,800, 1,900. Yeah, we're around 1,900 right now. And we're starting to build up toward something big. And if you remember last episode, that Great Depression is still here. It's still going full effect. And how does this affect the Golden Alliance? Which is one part now, so we can go ahead and color it back to white. So yeah, we're going to color it back to white. So all these nations are just the one branch of the Continental Pact now. There are no three branches anymore. That thing is gone because, of course, these guys down here joined the other alliance, which kind of made some people mad. That's why that whole war broke out with the invasion of this fascist country. But also the leaving of a lot of the nations over here. So right now, they are a lot weaker. And the strongest country in the Continental Pact at this point, I'm pretty sure, we can check the rankings, it's actually the purple team. The Australians are actually a lot farther down than I would have liked them. So, when we change that, yeah. And, luckily enough, the third country is actually gone. So, we will officially give the third country spot over to these guys over here. I forget what these guys are called. Oh well. Let's max the title up. I think that fits. But these guys are going to be third. And that is a pretty big event because I guess apparently they used to be not third. But 7th place was also going to go to another country. And that being the... Actually, I don't know. But I'm going to rework the rankings and then I'll get back to you. Here are our rankings, and I've redone it all. So first place, we have the purple team here. Still a very strong country, and that they showed us time to stopping. They have reclaimed most of their lost land, like ever, I'm pretty sure. This is like it. So this is like pretty much the biggest our empire's ever been, besides like some small territories up here, and just along, like right here. I think they used to control more. They used to control more of like this. But, you know, that's not too important. Yeah, especially when that one country collapsed and the peach team and the purple team met up. But, that doesn't matter. Because second place is the Mediterranean yeah, these guys are still a monarchy, the Mediterranean monarchy. So they're still a thing, but yeah, they're not the weakest or strongest. And yeah, their power is starting to decline slowly. But third place is the Australian team, and they are still very strong. I mean, recently they were cated. They can't expand anymore, which was a major player in their success. But, you know, it happens. In fourth place, we see the other purple team up here with their various claims, I guess, because they have over here, they have all these islands, which technically are territories now. Fifth place is officially this country, right? The blue team right here. Not much to say about them. Sixth place is the yellow team. Seventh place is this guy right here, who's actually stronger than right now these guys over here. Oh, I forget what we call them. Yeah, the light red team. They're officially stronger than the light red team. I don't know how long that's been, but they could take them on. They could take them 1-1. So that's something to think about. Ninth place here is officially going to go to... Did I give it to somebody? Well, it looks like I didn't give ninth place to anybody. So I have an idea. I forgot. I left these guys out of it. So you know what? Since all this Great Depression has been going on, it hasn't really affected these guys as much. So these guys' strength is actually going to boost themselves up to ninth place. Yeah, I kind of forget about over here sometimes because this guy and this guy are the only two strong countries. I mean, the Aztecs are very strong, and so are the Argentinians. But other than that, there's like nothing strong over here. And the power is mainly centralized in the old world. But after the war period, that's going to change. But anyway, moving back over to here. 10th place is going to go to the Koreans, who jump up another spot. Them and the Chinese in 11th have jumped up a spot every video. So that's cool. 12th is going to go to the purple team here. And 13th is going to go to the dark red team here. These guys are very friendly, but they're also kind of like rivals. They're kind of competing to see who's like the best Madagascarian team. So that happens. But 14th is now going to go to the dark side team. 15th will follow over to the green team. 16th goes over to the lime team. 17th to the dark purple team. 18th to these guys over here, the very strong country over here. 19th to the pink team over here, and then 20th to the Colombians over here. So yeah, very strong. And now we're going to see exploration this episode, but actually no, because no annexation or no expansion. And starting up down here in Antarctica, the equipment has been provided to go even deeper into this area. And more of a bridge to the Pacific is going to be found. In fact, most of this area has been explored by now. And even going up north to here, we see most of this area up in the top being found. They connect up with these guys over here, so they do confirm this is a big sea. And they're going to move through these islands, these lakes over here, and they're very cold. Most of them are frozen. A lot of people go kaboosh. Not very good. And they explore all the way over here. They don't explore the water itself, so they don't find these islands up here. But they're not looking, so you know that might be the problem. And they almost connect up and find all of North America, but they're not going to just yet. And there's more of this area will be explored in total. And over here, we see actually a lot more of this thing. This little blob expanding out. There's like nothing over here, and they're so far away from civilization that it just pretty much stops for it. It's going to stop for a long time, probably. Because they don't see any point in going that way. This officially means, though, that the map is almost complete. I mean, look at this. There's like a Pacific left, and then some of the South the South Atlantic Ocean left, and that's it. That is literally it. Everywhere else has been discovered, like the North especially was worked on a lot. But now that we're done with that, we're going to move quickly back onto the war over here. Because in the South, while all that happened, a lot of progress was made over here, especially the capital of the Orange team, and progress into the Pink team right here, which is kind of collapsing right now. Especially after that major city is taken, they really can't do anything. And the Yellow team is starting to grow very big with its occupation over here, so they're going to kind of slow down a little bit. This country right here is a lot stronger than actually, I think the Yellow team might be a little stronger, but they're still going to keep going. And they have to split between 3 countries, so they're not going to get too far in a single one of them. But this city right here is a very big one. Probably one of the biggest around, besides maybe this Green Team one, and a few others like this one over here. So this is probably one of the biggest objectives right now. So they're going to try to take it, and they're going to move the troops around the city. Around the cities, I guess, because there are 2 cities here. They're just going to creep over and start trying to take it. But not just yet. So they're going to have to kind of wait, equal out their stuff. But the blue team over here has 1 nation to follow into. 1. So they are able to pretty much steamroll this country right here and take a lot of land out of it. So this is going very bad for the blue team. At this point, the blue team realizes they're losing, so they're gonna send some help. Send for some help, and they will find it in 2 more partners. And one of the partners is going to actually be the brown team right here, because these guys are going to be essential to getting troops down into this purple team, which is a very strong nation, probably the 2nd strongest in all these alliances. And after this, they're going to call out for help from the Colombians and the Aztecs. They're not going to respond. They're going to kind of just wait and watch. Isn't very good. And the orange team right here, which has been kind of surrounded by the blue team here, will officially join. They've been a partner for a long time. But for help, that's all they really get right now. There's a lot of countries that just want to stay out of this. Respectable by them. But now that the brown team has got the jump on these guys, who are sending pretty much all their military down south. And, wait, wrong. Okay. So, yeah, they're going to send it, and they're going to actually capture 2 major cities on, like, the first days of the war. But, the city over here is actually being protected a little bit. They have some troops there. There's a big military base there. So, they won't be able to march into that one just yet. But they are able to march all around. Just like that. So now they're going to go down to the line team. They're going to withdraw all their troops to fight up here, which will actually be very effective once they actually get there, which is around this time. And they will push them back to 1 major city and pretty much the border, which does lead to going a little bit slower down here. And there was a plan to recapture the purple team right here, which only has 1 major city. That's kind of sad. These countries over here honestly should have more major cities. That's back on my part. Because these guys aren't like the edge of expansion anymore. This is like a very accustomed area. So we'll just add a few more into this area. Especially some of these ones that don't really have much. Now this is more modernized. So, yeah, now that it's more modernized, we can actually take a look at a better scenario. Especially because, yeah, up here, it's not doing very good. After this, they quickly captured the capital city over here. But, this country has no more capital cities, really. Or major cities, I should say. So, it's going to be pretty bad for them. Because no more major cities equals nowhere really to go where the government has control. So they're pretty much going to end up going over to other members of their alliance, being this one over here. But at this point, we'll be has been sending a little bit of troops into the Lime team right here. But the Lime team hasn't really been worried about it, because they can get to it later. But this nation is also pretty strong, so maybe they should have worried about it a little sooner. Because now this front line right here is starting to grow more solid. So they're doing that. And yeah, these guys are going to kind of fall under their occupation. So up here in the north, this whole area will be taken over and by them. And we actually see them straight on just, yeah, occupying. Oh wait, they do have one major city. I was wrong. Maybe I gave it to them. But anyway, this northern area will actually be taken over. That's the only part. We'll count that. And this major city right here was taken. I mean, they really don't have much there. So you know that happens. That's pretty bad defeat. I mean, they didn't expect that to happen. But it did, so you know, what can you do? I'll tell you what you can do. You can march straight through this country like it's nobody's business. And then move your way on over to this country, where you have been slowing down a little bit. And then this country over here, of course, you're not doing anything in. So all the troops are just focused on this front line right here. It follows like that. Or I guess it follows more of like that. Still a pretty big front line for them. I know they're having to worry about sending troops up to help these guys up here. Because now a lot of troops are rushing through this country via allies, and they're able to capture a lot more. Once again, going around this major city right here, not being able to capture it at all, though. And actually, the Purple Team will send some troops out and meet up with the border over here, creating two little areas, and this whole area is just a mess. So they send some troops back, and then they send some troops out over here, and it kind of evens itself out again. But yeah, they're going to be pretty stuck over there for now. And speaking of down here, looking back down here, they're going to capture, the blue team captures the major city of this guy. And they hand over some more territory to this guy right here so that they can control some more out there. But this guy's already got his plate full, so I mean, like, they're going to take this, and they're going to take this really big city that they've been waiting for a long time. And they're going to keep moving down into the pink team here. And this is probably one of the biggest countries now. One of the strongest so far that we've seen take territory. But next is the yellow team, who at this point has taken something more like this. We'll go ahead and update this a little bit more. We'll say most of this is taken over. And the yellow team has officially kicked out pretty much the whole orange team. So now that the orange team is fully on, the yellow team probably has taken the most territory in this war. Just looking at this right now, we can see that these southern countries right here are pretty much out of the war. Now at this point, it looks like the red team's probably going to win with few casualties. So they're going to, a lot of the troops down here are going to kind of move up into here so they can like have a big force from the top. And this actually starts to work as this team right here is starting to actually fall under all this pressure because there are a lot of troops flooding into this country. You have like all this up here basically going down south into this country, as well as some nations down here going into this country. So they will actually make a breakthrough into the sea, which will be very bad. I mean, they don't have a navy, but they stole some Navy ships. They probably could, anyway. And they could probably attack the capital by landing on a ship. So that'll be very dangerous for them. At this point, the Lime team is having to redraw some of their troops. And the connection will be made back up with these two. And this little purple team country decides that it's time to help their allies, and they will join the blue team here. So only people joining the blue team. That's crazy. The red team doesn't have that many supporters besides for the people in the war. So, you know, there are a lot of stronger supporters, so that'll help. But now, this area right here is a lot more centralized. And they will actually be able to push up more into the purple team because of this. Because they have a lot more centralized power. I don't know what this is. So a piece of land right here. Oh, so the rest of this country down south. But yeah, they are able to centralize this country down south here. And take over some more territory for it. And for the orange team, who was a very strong nation, but now they're not as strong. But yeah, now they have like this little like land thing that's kind of poking out from the side over here. And the goal was to meet up with the top through these countries right here, but it hasn't happened yet. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen because just look at this; it's a big mess. But they are really close technically. They're around I think 100, probably 100 miles off. I mean, they're like this little piece of land off, which is pretty bad. So they're gonna like kind of snake their way up this way. And these guys will attempt to do the same. They actually will. So they will actually meet up. So the middle area here and the southern area are connected up, which is very bad because now supply lines are running between them. And this nation right here has pretty much kicked itself out of the running. Let's be honest, they're not doing anything. So they'll fully surrender over and more likely capitulate over. And this team right here is probably this team and this team up here are probably about to do the same and capitulate over. Before that happens, the other team will take that strip of land, these guys are going to take that strip of land. So now it kind of falls like this, and the purple team will just kind of take the pieces. And now it's kind of up to them to do this. You know, I mean, they technically have control over the pieces. But yeah, down south is not pretty. Up north, it's not good for the red team now, up here now. It's kind of changing the stories. It's starting to get closer and closer to that capital. And now, the lime team is going to lose a lot of their control over here. And a lot more of this area will fall due to the simple fact that they have to move troops up to help up here, which does work, and they will take a few major cities and stuff. But yeah, this is a very bad defeat for these guys, especially considering how strong they are. Second strongest in the war. So that is definitely very bad for them. But up north, there's a lot of this happening. And down south here, I mean, a lot of these nations are out of the running. But probably will be for the rest of the time. So, I mean, like, we'll put a darker color if they're out of the running. But, I mean, like, so far, it's looking like this. And up north, it's looking like that. So those guys are out. Oh, I guess that's not right. I put yellow, dark yellow color. I don't know why. It should be like a dark blue. But that means that there's really just these four nations up here. And I mean, these guys over here, which aren't very strong. These guys are probably sending all their troops into the blue team here, or up to here. Most of them are going up. And the reds down south just keep pushing. And eventually, yeah, it'll finally get to a point where most of this is gone. And in fact, all the orange team will be wiped out. And now these guys are going to be like, what do we get ourselves into? These problems just suck. Oh my gosh. But, yeah, they're going to officially just, going to surrender over. They're going to make a deal. They're going to get out of the war. They're kind of, everybody's kind of mad that they joined it in the first place. So they leave. And then the gray team over here is still doing okay, but now there isn't really much stuff going on with them. But eventually, after the light team will get some of their troops back, they send some forces down and cut them off officially. Oh yeah, these guys also got control over this piece of land. But yeah, so these guys are pretty much cut off. And now that they're cut off, a very big group will be able to connect up. Yeah, they just connect up now, down in the south. Meaning, now there's no one left down here, pretty sure. There's these guys. There's this side up here. But technically, yeah, there's just the north now, basically. All the rest is controlled by the red team. So that's not very good. And at this point in time, each side is going to actually make a peace treaty because of all this stuff. And the war is going to officially be over. It looks like this. So the south got annihilated here. And some of the northern countries did. I mean, look at this. But yeah, we're going to see a peace treaty to sort this mess out. Here's the peace treaty. So starting off, up north, this country gets its independence. But it hasn't... Its government has changed to a more favorable, yet blue team won. Down here, this whole country is just annexed fully. Just like that. So the gold team is getting pretty strong, actually. Yeah, they come out of this war very strong. Probably compatible with the purple team down here. Speaking of them, yeah, by now, they've lost all that land over to the brown team, who is very big as well at this point. And very strong. They are still pretty strong, like gold team strength now, but not like above the rest. But down here, the purple team was just fully disapparated. They couldn't survive on their own. So this light blue team took some land from them, and then took some land from these guys up here. But over here, the light, I guess, green team, I guess I called them, is going to take all of this land right here, and then they're going to take over this capital city too. So now they're also very big and very strong now. Definitely probably boosting their power up a little bit after the war is over and they're able to situate themselves. But down here, the dark blue team is going to take over this piece of land. This grayish team is going to take all that land, and the yellow team will take this land. They each get an extra capital city, and the one in the middle gets 2, and some very valuable land, so that'll be very nice for them. Then there's all this leftover area, which is just taken by random countries, for the most part. And for people to take land, the red team says that they have to agree on what land they take. So each of these 3 is going to take some land. Actually, no, these just 2. So, this means that the blue team down here is going to take this land, and the green team up here is going to take that land, because this one wasn't able to survive on its own, I don't think. Now, I think that these over here, yeah, I think the rest of these are going to be able to survive on their own just fine. I just don't think that piece right could have survived on its own. So, you know, it's gone now. But, boom, boom, and boom for the cities, for these new guys. I guess old, because they've been here before. But yeah, these 2 down here are also going to have to join up on the Red Team Alliance, which is now its own thing. And speaking of the alliances, we're going to have to kind of rework this, because first of all, this country does not exist anymore. Second of all, ideologically lie. Whoa. But basically, yeah, these 2 are able to join up on the alliance. There's nothing wrong with them. Or they don't have an alliance that they don't have an ideology that the alliance does not accept. Because they would not be able to take land. So now these 2 join up on the alliance, which is getting pretty big up here. This piece of the alliance is gone. This member leaves, and actually, these 2 countries, right? These 3 countries up in the north get new governments. Or actually, I would say like all of these countries get new favorable governments toward the red team. So now, very big red team leaning in the south. Whereas up north, countries like this team right here are going to actually join the blue team. Because now they can. This country grew very big, so now they're going to need one of these. And several other countries in the north are going to actually start joining up on this new alliance. These two countries right here, they're very strong, or whoa, they're very weak, I meant to say. But, yeah, they're very weak, so they're going to join up. These nations right here kind of don't care anymore. And, yeah, this is gone. This nation joins blue. We're going to size that down a little bit so you can see. Of course, these guys are blue. This country is actually going to leave because they have a new interest they have found. But now these alliances are a lot more centered, and their ideals are greatly different. But now we're gonna have to change this up because let's see, what alliance would work for these guys? Well, I think we're gonna simply use trapezoid. I like trapezoid. So yeah, I'm gonna change this up. But now we have our two alliances here in the south, and after this we'll have one more of the video. And here we are, and yeah, there's a lot more members of the rounded rectangle alliance. But now we gotta look into that gold team, Endeavor, or whatever, because they have decided to make their own alliance. And this alliance is based off of the Gibraltar area, and this area has a lot of history of how it was made. But they're gonna form a new alliance called the Six-Pointed Star Alliance, or I guess the Hexagonal Star, I think that's what you'd call this. But they're gonna form it. And a lot of countries are going to join it. Like, these right here are like the original ones. So, some of the original ones. So these guys are going to join. And they're not going to get any members yet. But, I mean, technically, they're allowing all of these guys right here to join. And this, British and this orange country right here. As well as, like, up here. So, like, this is more of a European alliance center. So, like, these two can join. They're not allowing any of like, the bigger guys to join, which is like a purely small alliance. But it is mainly economic, but they will also help out each other in times of need and stuff like that. But after that, we have one more war to get to, and then the episode will be over. I actually just reviewed the footage, and this episode's way longer than I originally thought it was. It's like 37 minutes, so we're gonna end the video off here. A lot of changes happened today. A lot of very big ones. We're also going to see some other stuff next episode. But, just to top it off, since I said there was going to be a war. I forgot about this, but, these two countries actually were going to align originally. So, yeah, that's what they're playing after the war. That's what they were going to do. And they'll align under the northern one. And they'll keep the northern one's capital. But, yeah, that will end the episode off. A lot of bigger countries now over in the New World. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.